my meaning ship, but I got a set of American fighting naval ship dictionary, it's a 5 volume set that I'm trying to get rid of for $30 if anybody wants it. I don't have it here, but I have it in that car if someone wants to look at it after the meeting.
Thank you. Is that yours?
Yes.
You want to, let's turn the light on so everyone can see this great work. And do we have more? Want to bring that up front, or how do we get the camera on it? Where's that?
Luminosity 100.
Bring it over here.
So, show and tell thing I tried to institute in the past was for people to not have their models up there right away, and whoever's presenting to bring it up. That way, it's where the camera is instead of trying to move the camera everywhere.
Right. This is scratch built. The wood came from a pallet, and I cut most of the wood off on my contractor saw. I got this from a picture. I've seen the picture labeled 3 different things. It's an oysterman from Long Island. It's an oysterman from the Gulf. It's an oysterman from Florida, essentially. The picture shows 2 guys on here tonging for oysters. The picture's really cool because it's an old picture. You can go real deep into it and pull out details until the computer screen gets pixelated. But the old pictures, you can do that. So I had to guesstimate the size. One guy was almost standing tall, so I made it 5'8" and went from there. So, it's loaded with oysters. The only thing I have to do now clean up the oysters a little bit, give them some more variation in color, and finish my oyster tongs, which I've wasted I don't know how much brass and styrene trying to solder. And anyhow, don't leave down that road. The sail is made out of silk spine.
What kind of boat would you say it was?
It's an oyster boat, essentially, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I'll never do another sail any other way but silk spine. It looks to scale. It doesn't look like the crap that comes in the kits that looks like my Aunt Minnie's tablecloth. It's to scale. It works great. It hangs good. I loved working with it. That was such a joy.
If I ever get to that point in my model, which is a major question, I need to either color it if I want to do the red dyed sail that was common, or dirty it up. Does it take color? Or?
Yeah, you use cheap craft paint. That's all you're going to do. You're going to lay it down, paint it.
Okay, it's not so synthetic that it repels every.
No.
Okay,
yeah. The paint's going to soak through what you got.
Yeah.
It'll take on as acrylic.
Yes.
What about just like dyes and things like
Not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
It's paper.
It's paper, which is reinforced with silk fiber
Okay.
for model airplanes.
All right. I thought it was more synthetic than that. Cool.
No,
All right.
no, because I had the synthetic stuff on another boat, and it looks, well, you know what, looks like a modern sail.
It should take dye pretty well then.
Yeah, the model airplane guys.
Maybe
put all
too
sorts of
thin.
stuff on
You're
it.
gonna work this silk spine.
If you guys are interested, I have a presentation on making sails from silk span.
It is on our website.
Yes,
in
it
the
is,
shop
and I
notes.
used it. And there's Tom Loria's got one online on YouTube.
Yeah.
I use that one too. But this stuff, it hangs like a real sail.
Yep.
So it looks great. And I had
nice.
compliments from a waterman, so he loved it.
No, I've liked every silk span model I've seen, but there were some people arguing against it, and I don't remember the arguments. Is anyone aware of what they would be?
Well, as far as I'm
The
concerned,
argument is one of them is that if you go to a smaller scale, it doesn't look realistic.
Well, that's true with everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Big scale.
Yeah.
but I think it looks perfect here.
I got a
Do they sell it in different weights, or is it all only one weight available?
Walk down there to the hot store and grab it.
There are 3 different weights. It really doesn't matter for what we do.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you, in the larger scales, it does. even in 1/8" scale, I used 3 plies. Okay. It still hangs right, but I used 3 plies. And then I also did it in 1/2" scale, and in that scale, I used 4 plies. Okay. And when you put the plies down, you have to rotate it, since it indeed has a weave to it. So what you do is like plywood, you lay it down perpendicular. The plies are perpendicular to each other. So that gives it a little bit of strength. So in the large scales, I went to 4 plies because 3 ply was just too thin. What it does do is if you're in a small scale, sailing ship, sails can be translucent a little bit, and Silkspan gives you that translucence if you don't paint it. So anyway.
You can take this and put the seams in, the extra stitching
Yeah,
drawn on.
yeah.
For the edge of the sail are already in there. They're folded in, a little bit of white glue and water. It works beautiful. Loved it. Yeah, a little bit of Elmer's.
Yep.
And, it's good stuff. Now the scale is 1 inch to a foot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Working that big.
Very nice.
It gets easier if my hands are all messed up.
The other thing too you have to think about, and this I found out from someone. It didn't actually happen to me. I use dilute white glue, and I make it very, very pliable with dilute white glue, and that's how I put the plies together. But in the white glue, I just put 1 drop of biocide, because the white glue is an animal product, and I was told if you don't do that, you'll get spots of mildew. Okay, so you got to put the biocide in the mix.
That'll look good on oyster boat.
Now, when I work this,
Yeah.
the sail's already, she's up all the way, spritz it with water, worked it down. Once I got it to where I wanted it, a little bit of diluted white glue again, got the folds in there, got things looking good. Not a minimal amount of cursing. So it was great.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you so
It
much.
looks great. It really looks very authentic.
Thank you.
Let's go and do our online people next. Bill Gass, do you have anything?
Who'd you ask?
Did you, William Gass, anything to show?
You're muted.
No, he's not muted, but can't hear him.
All right.
Yeah, he's muted now.
Bill, do you have anything?
Apparently not.
Okay. Stuart, anything?
This is going weird.
Bill's showing something, but he's muted. Or William. Yeah.
That's to unmute him.
He did. Asked to unmute.
Already done that.
Okay.
I can't unmute him here.
We will come back to you as you work on the muting part. Bill?
I got something I'd like to show, but I don't know whether it's appropriate at this time. It's a very short 3-minute presentation I'm making that has to do with using AI to enhance photographs, like the one right behind me there. If you're interested in that, I'll share it.
We do that. Actually, we're into our last 7 minutes. There's a whole bunch of other models that we want to show. Would you be coming next month? Can we put that in?
Absolutely. I'll do it next month.
Awesome. Thank you. Stuart, anything?
Thing new, but if you look over my shoulder, you'll see another example of silkspan sails. Those are all furl sails that I put up there, are actually furl size, and then I furled them down and put them on the yards. I built about 6 of them that way now, and I really like it.
Amazing.
Bill? Bill Lorenzo, anything? Or Tom?
Yeah, I could share if you let me share.
Yes, you're going, okay.
Okay, hang on.
I said they'd come back. You think that would go there?
All right. Okay, I just wanted to show you, I'm working on Argus. And this is the latest thing I'm working on, and I work very slowly, unfortunately, because I just do too many things all at once. What you're seeing is probably bigger than actual size. And what I'm doing is I'm carving the quarter badges. And this was actually the head for the officers. Um, on the inside of the bulwarks, there'll be a small cabin that'll get you to this, and this just sits on the outside of the hull. I can, later on, if somebody wants, I could go through how I did these. But what you see here is the plan from Chappelle. This is the quarter badge that he has on there. You could see it's 0.575 in one direction, 0.6 down below, and it sits about quarter of an inch between the two drops and a half an inch total. So this is basically a six thousandths, six tenths squared, in each direction, in both directions. And what I'm going to be working on now is I'm going to be using some leftover photo etch sprue to make the window mullions, and then use some brass to make the vine work on it. When it's done, I'll paint it up, and if you want, later on, I could show a progression of all the photographs, because I took progressions of all the photographs. These were originally glued back to back. So when I sort them out with a scroll saw, they're both exactly the same. Unfortunately, you could see there are slight differences between the two sides that I will have to correct. But yeah, so that's what I got so far, and that's all I got at this point. And I'll stop sharing now.
Question. What is the name of the ship again?
Argus, ARGUS.
Okay.
Okay, it was built in 1803, 1804, specifically for the Barbary Wars, and it was captured by the British in the War of 1812.
You want to share the screen, please, Tom?
Excuse me? Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Yes.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
They're awful dark.
I've been working on a Fletcher class destroyer, 200 scale, and this is at what point I am.
Very nice. Wow. See the weathering.
It's a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. That some of the plastic parts are so small that getting them off the sprue is almost impossible. I've had to replace them with brass. So, but anyway, that's where I am today.
What's the name of the ship?
It's a USS Fletcher, DD 445,
What the kit?
World War II class.
Who made the kit?
Trumpeter. It's a trumpeter kit.
John Cork or Joe Lorenzo? Anything?
No, it doesn't have.
That's all I've been working on.
Awesome. Looks great.
Well done. Oh, yeah, it's Joe's. The size of the ship.
Our back table, anything to show? On your table, anything to show? John and Galen. Anyone else from the table? Anything? Galen, you want to go first?
Or
All righty.
I'll go first.
Yo,
Caleb, you got my disc up?
Yeah, you guys are making
You'll make up first.
You don't even have anything to show.
No, that's all right. I can go. Oh, Rob
Who's going
Ryland's,
first?
well, why don't you go, John, while Ryland's pulling out my pictures. Why don't you do the Kalen first?
I'll go first.
Okay,
Here's yours.
all right, John's up.
In my
Save
hand.
that for, save that for me, then, Ryland.
Oh, so there's
There you go.
Capstan.
Right. Who knows what this is?
Capstan.
Putting wave height.
Wrong.
grass juice.
Is that right? This is a tool to set bit height for a shoreline lake. And they sell this tool, but you know me,
What's it for?
it's for setting the tool height on your lathe,
Okay.
your cutting tool for your lathe. It needs to be right on the center axis, the rotation of the part, cut properly. That distance from top of the cross slide to the top of the tool is set underneath this lip right here. And the dimension you can get from either measuring an existing tool line or a shoreline tool, lathe, or buying the tool, which they sell, or if you go to the product information, they actually, and do the math, you actually can find that height. But anyway, I saw one of these pop up on eBay one morning. It was a great price. I mean, it was a steal because once in a while you find them. And I don't do eBay, but I've got a buddy over here who's looking the other way, who I get with whenever I need to get something from eBay. I sent it to him. I said, get this for me. Email comes right back. Too late. I already bought it. So he was kind enough to let me take that one that he bought, measure it, and then I sketched it up. And believe it or not, I made this on a shoreline lathe
Oh my God.
right here in our taco stand. So that's my thing. And you talked about tools earlier and whatnot. So, you know, tools can make tools, a lot of things.
Oh my God.
And it's just how
So
much you want to work, how clever you can be.
If you're using it from the base to the bottom of that first part, what's the rest of it for?
If you use a riser block
Okay.
with the lathe
Mm-hmm.
for other operations, the top half here will help set the tool for that height. And that's why it looks the way it looks. So anyway, I thought it was fun to bring up because you were talking about tools and whatnot.
Is it 3D?
And of course, I had to make it out of brass, so it does look better. So, and the only other thing I wanted to say is not a comment about the tool, but it's about your presentation, which was very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. We use we use Microsoft Publisher to put out the logbook.
Mm-hmm.
In that, it's some very limited capabilities to adjust photographs. And a lot of it is preset values and stuff. But I do use those a lot to adjust the photographs so that they look better, or if the contrast is better, you see the detail or whatever. And then the other thing I do sometimes is some of that blurring out and blotting out stuff. So just know that happens with your photographs when you send them in. So, and it's all to make it, I think, a more pleasing publication.
Publisher, I don't know if you know this, but I got an email from Microsoft. Actually, I got it last year, and I got another one just this month. Publisher is sunsetting in October, and they will no longer be supporting it. And if you have your publisher via your subscription, your Microsoft 365 subscription, you will not be able to open up any of your publisher documents.
Wow.
So what you need to do, what you need to do, and what I've been going through a little by little, is if you have publisher documents, depending on what they are, you either convert them to Word or you convert them to a PDF. And I will tell you, if you convert them to Word, it's a disaster. And if you convert them to PDF, it's great, except you can't do anything with it. So what I've had to do with our newsletter, because I've been using.
This is important, but probably not really part of show and tell, and maybe we
Oh,
can
all right.
work on the logbook and do this offline. Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
John, you're not from Shanghai, are you?
Indeed.
All
right, Gene, you going next?
Uh, go ahead, Caitlin. Why don't you start? And then I'll segue into that, those pictures I have.
So I just started progress in.
You're sharing a camera, or that's just a picture? Or
There you go.
that's what you wanted to show, is just that picture.
Oh, I thought you
Well,
were.
let Caitlin do his, and then we'll say, I'll show those.
Okay. Yeah, apparently the camber.
You got a camera.
There you go.
So I just started progress with the engine hatch and the day cabin on the PT boat. I had then glued the vents. I did not realize that I actually had the brass tubing in the kit, but I had to use some brass tubing that was in the taco stand, not realizing that the brass tubing was in the kit.
Already got the link.
So I don't know what I was doing. And then I proceeded to use some cyanoacrylic to glue the hatch, which was scratch built, because only like the top part, not all like the sides and stuff, were in the kit. So don't know what Dumas was thinking. Not sure if you guys heard, but Dumas is going out of business later this month. So I had him last kit. Then I moved on to the windows for the day cabin and the deck house. Because the kit included these there's shards or whatever you call it. I just cut them to length. And then I proceeded to glue down the day cabin, marking the plot points. The deck house, however, needs some still needs some work to do on the console. And I'll do the sides later. Then it's just a matter of just gluing it in place. But here comes the tricky part with the gun tubs. The kit comes with the pieces for the guns, but it's kind of complicated. Gene did forward me some die cast guns, so thank you, Gene. And hopefully it's just a matter of just gluing in place and just screwing the gun tubs. Which I have also glued the engine hatch, just the hatch details and the vents of the deck. Currently where I'm at today. For my model monitor, I had made the propeller and all the rudders and machinery at the stern.
Show to the camera.
Me and Gene did not think clearly to the plans. We had to gut out a part of the freeboard to make the well where the propeller sticks out. So we had to gut that out. It was just a matter of chiseling. 3 hours, we had gotten the skeg, the propeller, and the rudder. And then it was just a matter of priming just the hull. Well, I also got the hull as well.
Hold it down in the camera, bud.
And that is currently where I'm at today.
Awesome.
All right, Brian, why don't you pull up those pictures? We have in front of you. And what Kalen was referring to, he showed up at the Burger Boatyard this last Wednesday, just in time to crash my shop again after having spent hours cleaning it. Here he is working on the well and the egg for the color monitor. You go to the next one. And then thereafter, he primed the hull and sadly discovered that he had a lot more work to do to get that painting. So that was just a matter of a repeat and repeat. Get right. Here he is on his boat.
Or why look so angry?
Well, you probably broke the rudder off.
If you're not F-bombing, it's okay.
All right, Rylan. It's yeah, there we are. Yeah, look at the shop. I mean, trash the place. Took me the better part of another day to clean it up. Well, it's really so let's move on to my project. The continuing saga of the USS Reluctant. And this is chapter 2 in the installment. And when last we left, the heroes at the Burger Boatyard had just completed the hull, which I had shown last month. See, this is where we started our progress last month. Next. The next step was to go ahead and build the superstructures. I used basswood next, and then just kind of framed it up. In order to coax the basswood into a curve, I had forced it in. Yeah. And from there on, it's just a matter of building up the blocks, major components of the superstructures. And next, using paper templates, these I also used in the process of developing my artwork for brass. I use brass for all the bulkheads and the bulwarks and so forth. And just kind of test fitting the pieces here before I committed to etching the brass. All right, go ahead. And at this point, that's pretty much are the major components of the hull superstructures in basswood. Here's the etching station and some of the bulwarks and things which I etched in 15 thousandths brass. That way I get all the protrusions, the hull, the portholes, and all that accurately placed. Then I would use these to laminate to the basswood. Here I'm putting some structures on to stiffen it. Next. And then attached to the hull. I have it a little bit, about a 1/4 inch extension that then went down into the side of the hull, give it some rigidity. Also, I would also laminate on top of that to help hold it all together. Rubber rail. So here are the major components in brass, to include the pilot house, which I wanted completely open because I'm going to completely fill out the bridge with all the equipment. You'll be able to see it with those big barn windows quite easily. And next, the portholes will be added in. And from this point, it's just a matter of a lot of priming, sanding, everything right. And I couldn't. There's a nice poster paper. All right, next. And that's the superstructure with the brass.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Two stupid questions. How do you sand your brass? And I know you're using what I call car Rust-Oleum red. I used to work on my antique car versus gray. Is it because the ships are primed in red, or is it
no,
you're used to it, or is it easier to see or something to see imperfections?
paste.
Okay, I was just curious because
Yeah,
I'm using it on my metal now.
but also sometimes I'll use it as a bottom paint. That's kind of a nice, pretty
Yeah.
brown,
Okay.
reddish brown.
Seen a lot of red primer on warships because red lead was very good.
Right.
Okay.
Well, a very brief backstory. This is a model of the USS Reluctant, the movie star, Mr. Roberts, and depicted in the movie a lot of primer spots all over the hull. So I intend to, when I paint, I'll put some some backling of some sort of a medium or something to paint over that I primer underneath, rather than having to repaint the primer on top of it. So
Red lead primer is not universal, however. Sometimes it's green and sometimes it's
Oh, I know.
yellow on the hull.
Yeah.
Not just the spot check.
anyway,
Like
here are
the
the
Hornets.
here are the bulwarks in position, and then next. And from then on, I went to then test fit, make sure everything was going to fit together. Because since there was a lot of undercutting underneath the upper deck and the inside of the bulwarks, a lot of detail had to be put in there. I had to wait until the superstructure was very well complete, painted, before I made it all next. And that's just the next. Just progressive picture. Next. And that's there's the bridge as it depicted. I have a lot of interesting pictures that I mentioned earlier from the USS Prevalent. A lot of bridge pictures. And since the bridge was not modernized, nice time capsule of that era, showing a lot of the bridge equipment and stuff that used for inspiration to fill out the bridge. And here's the internal structures and pieces on the bulwark, which obviously would not be able to. A lot of this is using a lot of the grading and so forth, auto etched components. Soldered a railing across the top where the decking will be to the surface to be able to structure this out next. Now, from the movie, the Hollywood people did add a couple of components to USS Huel, which was such as the wing ladders, then the housing, the palm deck was the ladder will sit on top of the hatchway, as it was in the movie. Interestingly enough, if in the movie, if you watch it, there's a hatch side here, which is open during filming, and you can see the extension of hatch, cargo hatch, into the structure. That was a facade that they built on top. Although the refrigerated version of this particular AKL did have a structure similar to that. That was the
Gene, that on the top of the bulwark, on the port and starboard side, that lip, is that part of the photo etch or you added that on?
No, I added that on.
Okay.
And I will be adding that combing or whatever you call it. That
No, it looks very clean. That's what I'm saying.
oh yeah.
Yeah. It looks very clean.
Next. And then also underneath the extension of the decks, all the components, all the portholes and the doors and everything patched, painted before I can attach the superstructure. All right. And some more structural. And homing and all brass edge. Just basically. And this is pretty much where I am today. Maybe my next.
Amazing amount of work for people.
Well, you say that, but work on large components like it goes very quickly. The beginnings of any kit always seem to progress very quickly at first. I promise this will now ground to a halt as I get into the nitty-gritty here.
Your version of a halt.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
incredible work, and the pictures look great, but the actual model is sitting on the table here. Really incredible.
Next, I think that might be the last one. That's where we got to. Really looking forward to finishing up the underneath the inside portion so I can get it painted, get superstructure mounted, and then move on to all the employees and details. Right. Well, I got all the welding to put on, all the props and the rudder and all that stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'll do it as best I can from the moving forward.
Gene, is that silver solder or soft solder?
Soft solder.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have to be that strong.
Yeah. Did you ever try resistance soldering that or just not?
Oh, I do a lot of resistance soldering on this because as large a piece of brass as that is, regular soldering iron, you would just
Yeah.
I think you have to use a
Looks
resistance solder almost to the point where if you linger for a moment, it'll burn through the brass.
looks great.
Resistance solder for big pieces like that. Alrighty, I think that might be it for me.
So set it on that table and I can switch.
Yeah, so you get to look at it.
If you want a different angle, we'll still want to use this.
All right, so this is where I'm currently at with the Winchelsea. I'm going to use that one. I want to show down in here.
Okay. Let's see if I can make it tall enough so that I'm not hand holding it.
Or that, if you want to just switch it to this, and I'll move this around. Can
Okay.
you switch it to this one?
It is.
I am on there. Okay, cool. All right. So this last meeting a couple months ago, I came. I had just laid the holly down. I've now sanded it and I've trunneled all of it. I used the Def Coat paintable that was in the logbook. I actually got the last can at Ace on Warwick, by the way. And it was Def. It wasn't the Prolox that you showed in the letter. So I managed to get that. I've added the all of the framework for the stern windows. Those are now in. The glass is not in yet. I've got to build the sills to hold them in place. Did like the Def from the perspective of it didn't yellow the checkerboard. I cleared off the poly that was on there and then put the Def on. That worked really well. I've added the companionway ladders going to the lower deck. And then the last, I had showed scuppers in the last meeting. Am I showing it? Yeah. So the scuppers are now blackened and glued into place with epoxy. And then the last that I've been working on for the last couple weeks is the bow details. So I have the hair and cheek brackets now put in. The hair, the cheek, upper and lower. That's not broken. It's just sitting in there. I put the scroll work in. I have the bolsters in place, drilled, which was very nerve-wracking. I've drilled the hauser holes for those, so you can see looking going
Did you
straight up.
make all that from the front of the bow, or
No, so this, yes, they
You
come
made that.
part of their separate laser cut pieces that you glue together and shape to get to the where you want. The scroll work is resin casting. Same thing with the figurehead. But the deck, the trannels, everything, that's
for
all
that resin
mine.
casting? Did you have to create that, or was that part of the kit?
It was part of the kit. It comes as a separate purchase that you can make. My carving is not that well.
Very, very, very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Anyone else?
I always forget to raise the centerboard.
So work on the whaleboat continues. Been working on the ceiling planks. Some of them are just fit in, which is why they don't look like they fit very well. They're not glued yet. Got the mast step and the daggerboard housing in place. Had a little setback yesterday when I sprayed it with polyacrylic, which looked really nice, but I didn't sand where I was going to glue. So I had some of the panels lift as I was putting the last of the ceiling planks in. So I have to go back, and one of them broke when I was trying to remove it enough to re-glue it. So I've got to redo one piece, but I hope progress goes pretty quick after that because all the pieces are done. They fit. I just need to put them in place. This has been the tedious part because there's only room to clamp one at a time. So I basically glue one piece in each night, which has made this take a long time.
Based on your angle down there, how are you clamping it?
So the ones closest to the end, I can use regular clamps. The ones further in, I've actually, rather than clamping, I've just put weights on it overnight.
Okay. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Super tall.
Yeah, it's been
clamp or something, or
yeah, it's required a little bit of creativity to get things clamped and to stay in place.
Is that Swiss pear, Dave?
Yep.
Okay. Looks very nice.
Thank you. All right. Unless anyone else has anything to present, we're adjourned, I guess.
Well,
sorry, what?
just like that.
Except for lunch.
We'll be going to smoke.